Alrighty, welcome to this week's FinX segment on Built by Trading's YouTube. Palantir, let's get right to it. This was on here last week. There was some governmental contract tailwinds and everything was pushed up. You know, look, I'm referring to last week right here, Thursday, Friday, or sorry, the prior week, not last week. Strong push, again, hit another area of this supply area around 160 to 165, continues to fail at this, continues to chop around in range. Don't be shocked if it hits 125. If you're a long-term investor in this, I don't know, maybe 125 holds and it continues to chop and grind. You can build some sort of position, larger position in the 125 area, 120, 125. But if this breaks lower, especially with the potential sticky inflation, with oil staying as high as it is, as long as it has been, as well as the strong jobs report that just came out on Friday. Go watch my other weekly prep video I just did. It's posted up. The link is at the end of this video here. This has a potential to head lower. From failed moves comes fast moves. So from failed up here, fast moves, fails to break out, top of range, end range, bottom of the range is now the target. Don't be shocked if we hit 120s. That's all I need to say. Same thing with ASTS. There's some potential. I don't know how to read this one, honestly. There's a lot of thoughts going around with SpaceX coming out this Friday on the 12th on trading at $135 per share. There's a lot of thoughts going on that I think the whole space industry will have a lot of tailwinds behind it in general. However, short term now, it's going to be choppy. It's going to be volatile. There's thoughts that money is coming out of these high flyers, Planet Labs, IRDM, Rocket Lab, ASTS, etc., to move money into SpaceX for that debut. So interesting. As of right now, though, looking at the charts, failed to break out. It's at an interesting level here. It's about halfway through this consolidation area. It's at a 50 EMA. It'd be nice if it pressed higher. But with the weakness in the market right now, at least that demonstrated on Friday, I wouldn't put too much money into it. HIMS, this would have like a 14,000% revenue push or something like that. I don't know, like, what y'all are. This name is broken to me. Look at this prior area. This was support, turned into resistance here. It's underneath the 200 EMA. It's starting to flatten, which is nice. It's uptrending, I suppose. But until it gets above this 32-ish, 33, maybe even $35 area, I wouldn't get too excited about it because there's a lot of potential. I'm not saying that there is potential overhead supply here that could come in and kind of be reintroduced to the market on another retest. So I don't know. Down here would have been a good buy, obviously, right? 14 bucks. But now I don't know. I was long-term this name. I had a nice trade, but after the accounting stuff that happened, I don't trust it anymore. Micron, yeah, no shocker here. Down 14%, 13 and a quarter in one day. Already 21% off of all-time highs, basically from here to here. And so closing at dead lows, 84,601. Is that literally? Yeah, it's literally at the lows. I'd be looking for a gap down here. Maybe a nice gap down to the 50 EMA at 688 would be a decent buy. This thing has exploded. It would be nice if some money came out of this, rotated somewhere else, kept the bull market alive, and this digested, set up another base, and then if it wants to run again, it can run again. The whole AI theme is not dead. This is just an insane move. Everyone was talking about let's go from this low to this high over 44 trading days, 250%. Like everyone was saying, hey, this is a blow off top here. It ran another X amount. How much did it run? Let's just go from the high to there to the high to here. Another 33% when people are saying this is a blow off top over here, right? You don't know. You can't be saying stuff like that and act as if it's a truth. You can have opinion, that's fine. You can voice an opinion, but you cannot claim that you know because you don't. ARM, this was another hot one as well. Again, another very strong AI name. This is getting hit just like everything else. This has been a very strong runner. Look at this beautiful base. I mentioned it actually here when it was breaking out in early April. I missed this entire move, which is whatever. But this is, I think, is a name that you still want to be paying attention to see if it'll base and give a proper entry. Maybe hopefully it chops around a little bit and then it wants to go higher and then maybe even break out. But we'll see. That might be in the later part of the year. But for now, I think these names are kind of broken. App, pretty strong move, pretty popular over the Financial X streams. And it looks like it's trying to turn around, which is pretty decent. You want to do an anchor VWAP thing from this prior high. It looks like it'll be above it, which it is way above it. It broke this level of resistance. It's 516 area, which is nice. So now what? It's below the 8, which is fine. It's heading towards the 21. Maybe you get to the 50. This area is pretty interesting here, this 518 to 520, because it's confluence with, well, firstly, you got to get the 21 first. But if it wants to retest this, confluence would be close to the 50 EMA as well. And so maybe you're looking at a breakout and retest and look for somewhere to risk against here. I actually saw my first commercial on this. I don't watch TV very often, but I saw my first commercial for App 11. So that was interesting. So I would look for a retest of this area. It could be interesting, but I'm not fully trustful of longs in this market right now. SOUN. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Prior support here, undercut, came back above, looked where it was rejected. 200 EMA. The 200 EMA is going down. The 50 is flattening, now starting to curl down. The 8 and 21, you got an 8 and 21 pinch here if you care about that stuff. It's probably headed towards at least 650, again, maybe even 590 to retest these lows. As long as the 200 EMA is heading down, it's not even really starting to flatten yet. I don't know like why you guys are trying to catch bottoms here, unless you're maybe long-term investing in this. That's maybe a different conversation, which I get, but yeah, that's I wouldn't touch this. Not financial advice, but I'm not touching it. I have zero interest. Oracle was hot last week. Nice pullback and holding the 21 EMA so far. I look for a potential retest of this 206, maybe 200, 206 area. See what it wants to do there. Maybe it bounces strong. Maybe it gets cracked and hit. This is not SpaceX, folks. Looks like we learned last week. It's pretty wild. So I did this last week. It moved 262% from low to high in 6 days. I wish I caught that short, but here we are. Was it 39% in 1 day on Tuesday? Geez, I hope you guys didn't get hurt on that. Hood was popular last week. I did a little segment on it on my market recap, my market prep weekly video. Go watch that for that. And then SOFI, my statement stands. SOFI is still pretty popular. It's chopping around. It's not doing anything right now. It's basing. Maybe this could be a good area to build a position for long term, unless you're a range trader. You want to buy here, and then maybe if it wants to bounce to opposite end range, you sell up there. Whatever, you can do what you want, but I wouldn't diddle in the middle. Maybe even it might break lower. But it's financials, so the financials might benefit from potential higher rates for longer with the jobs report coming up. Okay, those are the hot names over FinX this past week. Palantir, nothing really to write home about. ASTS getting crushed. HIMS, I don't know, not interested. Micron might, it has a strong pullback coming its way. We shouldn't be shocked. ARM, same thing. App could be a decent breakout and retest of this 500-ish, 520, 510 area. SOUN, that no, just no. All right. Hopefully that stuff was helpful. Go watch my weekly subscription or my weekly prep video. I also have a X Spaces tomorrow night, Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, with my mentor, Dan Babyfish. Come join us and prep for the week. We will catch you tomorrow night, and like, subscribe, all that good stuff later.